We have the Commissioner for Information, Delta State, Mr. Charles Aniagwu.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, good to have you. So we read in the papers today that you lost one person to COVID, I think it was yesterday. What was even more disturbing about that story was the fact that the person had gone to NCDC, told them of his condition. They did their test for him and asked him to go back home. By the time NCDC called him back, they found that he was dead. My question, therefore, is what's the procedure in your state on how to help or to engage those who come forward for to be tested?
Well, thank you very much. Let me make it clear that our procedure here is not different from what you have in Lagos, in Abuja, and indeed every other state where NCDC has done quite well. There are some individuals which you do know, not only in data, sometimes when they take ill, they prefer to either begin to embark on some form of self-medication, which they have done over the years, and you know how difficult it is to change certain primordial sentiments. And what you need to understand is that at a time like this, is even when you have body pain that you may have had before, it's important that you report it because you may not know what it is. So the fact is that the person reported late and obviously has some underlying ailments or some form of what you may call some comorbidity.
Have you started, I'm sure you started contact tracing to know who he's been with and to know if indeed he has had contact with somebody who traveled or this is a communal transfer. How far have you gone with that source?
We are quite sure that the virus has now moved beyond the issue of your travel history because of some level of community transmission. But in any case, we have also embarked on a series of surveillance, tracing of contacts, and then we have a number of them in our surveillance. Some of them have been let go because 14 days incubation period for the virus to have manifested have been elapsed, and as such, those persons are allowed to also proceed with their personal businesses. But in the course of that, we ask individuals that are traced to anybody that has been confirmed positive at this level, because the capacity to continue to do door-to-door testing is not yet here with us, not only in Delta, but even across the country. And so you ask them to self-isolate while we monitor them on daily basis. We have deployed a number of vehicles for the purpose of contact tracing, and that will continue to do. We plead with our people that whenever you fall ill or feel any sign that is not usual with your body at a time like this, it's not the one that you need to just rush to a pharmacy store and just begin to buy drugs. Let me also inform you that we have also discharged 2 of our 7 active cases. The 2 that we lost actually died even before their results came out positive. So it's not as if they died in a facility per se, because they showed up late. That's one. And secondly, they also have some form of underlying sicknesses, which you do know, according to medical experts, is not too good with COVID-19. Then the 3 active cases, by the grace of God, that we have now are doing quite well. Just yesterday here, by the grace of God, too, we were able to set up, in collaboration with Irua Specialist Hospital, our testing center. So now we don't need to travel to those states to conduct our test. We can do that right here in Asaba.
Great.
Delta is not without any cases, and contact tracing is tough. Any plans to increase instead of the suspect cases testing to door-to-door testing?
Okay. If we are going to continue, yes, we do. But of course, you do know the capacity. We don't also want to begin to promise what is not going to be very, very traceable. At the moment, we are doing more like on case basis. The moment you show up certain symptoms or that you show up and we discover that you fall within the case definition, yes, to subject the person to test, but we can't promise you now that we can begin to go from house to house. It's not happening anywhere in the country. And this is not a disease where you need to begin to do probability sample and say, okay, let me test A in a family. So once A doesn't have it, means everybody in the family is free. That is not true. And for us, we don't do politics with issues that have to do with the health of our people. And so nobody will just want to promise you that we're going to take the one center that we have. Beyond being just one center, what of the reagents? You may not, I'm not talking about the cost alone. You will need to be able to also have enough reagent for you to now hit the streets and begin to test from house to house.